John says I'm going to do poetry tonight. In a sense, I am going to do poetry, but in a lot of senses I'm not. Don't want to missell, you know. This first piece is called Running Order. Oh, that's John's email. This first piece is called Degeneration. I wrote this for my mother. Mix, mothex, clavex, mex, mix, lovex, avex, booksex, and wordsex. Shex is x, now x, 92x, and x, generally x, quite x, well x, but x, does x, suffix, from x, age-related x, macular x, degeneration x, ax, symptom x, of x, which x, is x, that x, vex, last x, character x, of x, each x, word x, she x, tries x, 2x, read x, escapes x, her x, drifts x, off x, vex, page x, before x, it x, canks, vex, registered x. My mother gave me my love of books and words. She's now 92 and generally quite well, but does suffer from age-related macular degeneration, a symptom of which is that the last character of each word she tries to read escapes her, drifts off the page before it can be registered. Mother gave me love o book and words. She eat no 92 and general quit well but do suffer fro age-relate macular degeneration symptom o wick either the last character or ik war should try to escape her drift of the pag before it can be registered. Mudgar low boo a word 90 a general key well but do suffer age-relate macular degeneratio symptom which the to look character it was to try and escape the drift or to but before Kurt registere. Mot le bo war 90 genera ke where de suffer ag rela macu degenerati simp wa te le character where tr re esca drip beth register. Wo 90 genera kawasu aj rel mac degenerate simwa kara a te escdra be register. Wa 90 gene s adri ma degeneracy car s de b register. 9 gen aja m degener s car e regis. Nin g age degen ch regi. Ni g age degen c reg. Ag deji re a deg r d d. Thank you. That blew that house down, didn't it? The next thing I'm going to read is my translation of a piece of writing by Antonin Artaud, who you all know as the theatre of cruel chap, playwright, influential on surrealism, Dada, etc. But when he ended up his days in mental asylums, as they were called then. But he did start writing again towards the end. He became under the influence of a doctor who was quite progressive in one sense, and he got his patients to write and draw, you know, we call it art therapy, I guess, these days. But he also gave him huge doses of electroconvulsive therapy, so, you know. Come see, come ça. Anyway, his notebooks are crazy things, as you can imagine. They consist of lists, drawings, spells, poems, all sorts of weird stuff. Mainly written in French, some in English. Anyway, this is one of his lists. It's from notebook number 98. I've called it 2 tons of opium. 2 tons of opium powder. 1 tonne of cocaine, 1 tonne of peyote, 1 tonne of hashish, 1 tonne of marijuana, 100,000 tonnes of rice, 100,000 tonnes of sugar, 100,000 tonnes of coffee, 100,000 tonnes of cocoa, 100,000 tonnes of cinnamon, 100,000 tonnes of garlic, 100,000 tonnes of oil, 100,000 tonnes of buckwheat flour, 100,000 tonnes of bananas, 100,000 tonnes of dates, 100,000 tonnes of tuna, 100,000 tonnes of hazelnuts, 100,000 tonnes of walnuts, 100,000 tonnes of figs, 100,000 tonnes of cassava, 100,000 tonnes of muscat grapes, 200,000 tonnes of pistachios, 200,000 tonnes of chickpeas, 200,000 tonnes of almonds, 300 tonnes of rats to stuff in the beef, the veal, the lamb, the giraffe, the camel, 300,000 tonnes of mussels, 300,000 of oysters, 300,000 of snails. Thank you. I think we can empathise, we've all been there, yeah? Finally, I'm going to read a story. I would say it's definitely not poetry, but you may think differently. It's called Sunrise over Bognor. Excuse me. After the mother died, we lived in the large white room with floor-to-ceiling windows. Copy someone else's tick. Do something you're ashamed of. Write your name with movement. What would you do with a corpse? The father absented himself. We pinned sheets of paper to lampposts, missing the father, answers to no one. And a scanned photo, blurry with condensation under cellophane, of him as a young man standing with hands in pockets next to an uninterested horse in a paddock. Consider the lilies of the field. Nay, what do you lack? Moo. There were 3 of us, all called John. It had started as a joke. The father could never recall who was who. John, we'd shout. Our old names deserted us, and now they are those of strangers. Move your favourite body part. Pass your exams, the father said to us when we were 11. At 16 and at 18 we were told, pass your exams. Pass your exams, he said to us when we were 21. Desmond, Catherine, Jeff. That's about right, said the father. The mother, the father, the 3 Johns. Light and Richie Wardle in the big house, set back from the road, behind the lime tree with the reflecting windows. Quack! How do you behave when you've lost something? We found the father living by the sea in the south. He sat and slept in a room made from a railway carriage, set between lean-tos for washing and cooking, a privy outside the back door. Imagine that you are a god. Imagine that you are human. The father spoke only when spoken to, had no news, expressed no views. We had to invent his words for him. I didn't like the mother very much from the beginning, he said. He said when the friend died, he began to hate her. He said he liked to rise early and watch the daybreak to the east. The sea irritated him, he said. Suffer, little children. Think on the line of confusion, the stones of emptiness. Bleat. John was the favourite of the father, but the father didn't tell him that, the mother did. John was the favourite of the mother, but the mother didn't tell him that, the father did. John was the favourite of neither, but was told he was the favourite of both. The mother didn't call us John, she called us darling. You were so yummy when you were a baby, darling. I wanted 14 of you, 14, darling. Stations of the Cross, lines in a sonnet. 14, darling. Make yourself as small as an elephant, as slippery as a sheep, slippery, bar. What do you do with the body? Have you ever found anything you lost long ago? The mother wore furs and riding boots. The mother wore tweeds and hats. The mother's daddy had money, was in the city, had a little weekend place in Suffolk. The mother's mummy suffered with her nerves. The mother accompanied her daddy to events, to dinners, black tie affairs, handshakes, whiskey, cigars, and did you hear about the halt of the wave just before it breaks? A surrendered pause. It must be easier just to stop, said the father, we imagine. God is neither in the wind, nor the earthquake, nor the fire, he said. His pa had a hardware shop. The father's ma did the books and housework. On Saturdays, the father packed pet food out the back, bran, oats, sunflower seeds. He learned the business in the School of Hard Knocks at the University of Life. The father's brother, a cripple, said the father's classmates. Yes, said the father, more loved than the father, always much more loved. You are naked at work. Hiss. You are fully clothed in bed, too hot, sweating with shame. Cycling, said the father, we met cycling, stopped at a pub for lunch. The mother's daddy was at the bar holding forth, creating his never-ending stories. She wore a white bonnet, winked at me unpleasantly. You were so uptight, darling, horrid, you wouldn't chat to me at all, darling, speak without talking. Imagine a roadblock. What did the body do? The mother's daddy brought them the house set back behind the lime tree. The father renovated and decorated and dug and paved and laid turf. He polished the windows inside and out. The light, the father said, that's what matters now. Darling, said the mother, it's lovely. You are a darling. Cluck. 14 darling babies, the mother said. She'd named them Alfreda and Orbin and Barclay, Blanche and David and Fenced and Figgy, Gustav, Opal and Ormerod, Stout and Tansy, Zebedee and Xenia, all such darlings. Imagine the road back. Decide not to take it. Woof. 3 years ago, the mother forgot she smoked 40 a day. 2 years ago, she forgot she drank whiskey from lunchtime until she passed out. 1 year ago, she forgot to pretend she loved her children. 6 months ago, she started to defecate like a horse. Then she died. Squawk. Past, said the father. The large white room at the front of the big house set back from the road behind the lime tree has 3 floor-to-ceiling windows. We pull back the gauze drapes and stand waiting for the father. The father says he used to be frightened of everything, but now he is frightened of nothing. We imagine, he says. He wants to check windows for drafts, roofs for leaks, the lawns for moss. Make your face smile without using any muscles. Watch quiz shows on television. Call. Try not to think about ontology. Later, we stand again behind the shining panes of the large white room and watch the father leave. Generate, destroy, increase, diminish, alter, and move. Thank you.